evening, I'm Callie Tinney and welcome to the Nightly News at 9. Our top stories for tonight. The bubonic plague is spreading remarkably fast throughout Europe and is claiming thousands of lives without mercy. Now let's go to Paige out in Florence, Italy for more info.
Thank you, Callie. And now here I am in Florence, Italy. Let me tell you about this major epidemic. It started in Asia and spread to Europe by 1349 and into Scandinavia and Russia by 1350. It is very easily spread, which is why I have on this scarf, provided by our sponsor, Babushkas. Now, how did you get this disease?
Well, I was tending to that dead child, and the disease is airborne, so I breathed in and I wasn't wearing a scarf or a babushka, but I am now, and I got the disease.
That's very depressing. Do you know how long your life expectancy is supposed to be?
Well, everything started swelling yesterday, and then this morning I woke up and there was black and purple blotches all over my body and spots and stuff. So I'm probably going to die like today or tomorrow, sometime in the next week.
The life expectancy for this disease is 1 week after the first symptoms, or less, usually 2 to 3 days. Now, what about the corruption that it has caused?
Well, everybody abandoned me, so I don't really know what the outside is like, but from what I do know, there's like no authority or any order at all because all the police are either dead or like abandoned everything and just left, and then everybody's drinking wine and going from tavern to tavern and like breaking into people's houses because everybody's houses are abandoned, so like they're just going in and rummaging through stuff and there's no order and everything's kind of bad.
How do they know that a house is abandoned or people are dead?
You can smell the dead people. They're everywhere. Really smell.
Why are they everywhere? Is there not enough room?
There's not enough room to bury anybody. They're trying to bury people by like hundreds every day, and there's the smell of decaying bodies everywhere, and it's really, really gross and really bad.
Is she decaying?
She's decaying.
Now, doctor, why are you here?
I developed a very lovely amulet, which I hope will fix everything. And now I'm going to try my first patient. How do you feel?
Nothing.
It did not work.
Doctors do not know what to do in this crisis throughout this place. Now, to the statistics. 20 million are already dead in Europe, which is 1/3 of our population. And 25 million were dead in Asia before it came over to Europe. How do you feel about this? I was kidding. She is dead, and we will not get her opinion. Now, back to you, Callie, because, well, we have a dead body here, and I don't think our viewers wish to see.
Thank you, Paige. And to our other top story of the night, the 100 Years' War. The cause and the powerful woman behind it, Joan of Arc, who led France to victory and is now being prosecuted. Let's go back to Paige on the scene with this mighty warrior. Paige?
Thank you, Callie. Now I am here in France, discussing the 100-Year War. The cause for this war would be that the French royal succession of the Capetians that has lasted 300 years has been interrupted because the last heir is a female. Therefore, they have given it to their first cousin, and everyone, well, Isabel, the female, is very upset, along with King Edward III of England. The Flemings told King Edward III to go and get his royal throne back from the French. Therefore, the war has begun, and the effects would be that the simulated development of firearms and helped establish infantry. The taxes in England have been raised to help fund for the war. The Parliament receives more power to make sure that the king can have more money for taxes, and the House of Commons has gained the rights to introduce all tax legislation and can impeach the high royal officials. By the end of this war, hopefully Parliament will have strengthened. And now I'd like to talk to someone very, very special and important in this war, who is going to be on the stake very soon as well, Joan of Arc. Hello, Joan.
Hello.
Now, would you like to explain to us why you're going to be killed?
Well, you see, when I was about 13 or so, I had some vision.
How old are you now?
About 14.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I had this voice from God, and he told me that I need to stop the fighting between France and England. So, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I marched out there, and I marched the whole French army out to the British siege, and I made them with the siege. It was a pretty trying.
Wait, you heard God's voice.
Yes. He told me to stop fighting.
So, are you being called a witch, I've heard?
Oh yes, that's what people are calling me, but it's kind of offending. I don't like when people call me a witch.
Do you still believe to this day that it is God's voice that you've been hearing?
Yes, he told me to stop the fighting, and I believe that God told me this.
So you're going to be burned on the stake alive, only to fend for your cause.
Well, yes, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm just crazy, because I'm not. I actually heard God's voice.
Thank you, Joan. I hope your execution is peaceful. Thank you, and back to you, Callie.
That's all we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow again for some of the world's top stories. Thank you and good night.
And now a word from our sponsor, Babushkas!
We want you to buy babushkas!
Babushkas!
Comes in various sizes and colors.
They're soft, durable, and comfy.
They didn't save me, but they may save you.
And if they don't save you, you looked good dying.
So call the number below the screen and order your babushka!
Babushka!